One of Starfield's most fun ways to get a new spaceship is to,
let's just say, it was a steal.
I recently stole a couple of really powerful C-reactor ships that would usually cost over 300,000 credits each, so this got me curious. 1. How many credits can we make from stealing and selling ships actually? 2. How much XP would you gain by doing so? And 3. How many unique and powerful ships can we actually find to steal? I gave myself a 3-hour time limit to see how many ships we can steal on a live stream. The original plan was to use the first hour to explore space and take over enemy ships once we take out their engines. This seemed to be the most promising to me, since I think there's always a good spaceship fight around the corner. The second hour I would then switch over to land on random spots and random planets and hope to catch either a ship landing nearby or find one that's already parked somewhere. Hour 3 would then depend on which method works best, or maybe even something we come up with on the fly. On the fly, get it? Hehe. I put up a time split on the top right of the screen just for fun. This is not intended to be a speedrun. Not yet, at least. Hold up, before we get this video started, I want to clarify something. This challenge did not go as I wished for at all. This is not the success story I thought it would be. But rather than throwing the video away though, I think it has some good lessons and insights into ship piracy you might not be aware of. I certainly was not. However, I will do a follow-up livestream and video in the next week where I plan to apply everything we learn here today to get a shipload of, ships. If you still want to watch this video, thank you so much for that, so let's get back to it. I started off using a ship that I stole recently, a pretty huge Crimson Fleet Ride 2, since I haven't tested it in combat yet. I felt super confident that we will find a banger fight pretty soon and get our first ship. But what we actually ran into, you would not believe me. We took a course to planet Gaia, or more precisely, its moon Coeus. Just because it was close to all the major ship harbors and I haven't explored it yet. The very first ship we ran into on our very first graph jump was the Ecliptic Battleship Camulus. Now if that doesn't sound like anything to you, I was right there with you. Oh, Ecliptic battleships? Why they don't come fight us? Is this a space station maybe or something? It turns out this is a legendary ship that is one of the hardest space fights in the entire game. Apparently, you can get a side mission somewhere randomly that tasks you to defeat this ship. The fact that we just stumbled upon this by accident is just insanely lucky, and I got no idea how high the chances are for this. Unfortunately for my challenge though, this was the first major setback. Let's just say it is a tough fight to beat. The Crimson Fleet had no chance of survival here, so I had to switch back to my main fighter ship, the Ecliptic Claymore. I love this ship. It's got huge cargo, fantastic range and good weapons. And it also shoots at ships that are out of sight, so there's no downtime while you set up flank attacks. But again, the goal here is to steal ships, not to blow them up. The autocannons don't care about what they shoot and their accuracy is not very good. However, we need to focus on the engines. That's why I did not plan to use the ship, or at least disable the autocannons before we take on the last standing ship to take it over. Back to the Ecliptic Battleship Camulus. It took me a minute to find the best strat to take out the shields, guns and engines so we could attempt to dock and steal it. There is just one catch. This ship is undockable. It is meant to be destroyed. Which of course I didn't know, so I might have spent 20 minutes playing with my food unnecessarily and got zero progress in my first 25 minutes. Now we did end up taking the ship down, so this was a pretty big success. Unfortunately, yeah, we just could not steal it. Even worse, for almost the next 30 minutes I found not a single other enemy ship on over 20 different planets. I could not believe my bad luck here. On minute 50, we finally ran into a spacer jackal and I made the mistake to focus on the shields and not the engines. Additionally, the attacks were far from precise and the ship blew up before we could dock it. definitely a learning curve here. Luckily, pretty soon after we found a really tiny Crimson Fleet Phantom and managed to take out the engines just bullets before it actually blew up. Docked the ship, killed the crew and took it over to register it in our name. Yay, finally some traction. But it was not all flowers. Oh, there's contraband sitting there. Contraband. We lost some time storing the contraband on our outpost since the ship was so small it took forever to get from A to B. Fast forward to 1 hour and 35 minutes in the run, I found no other ships and was so close to pulling the plug on this challenge. I was really frustrated. So I decided I might as well move on to the next plan of stealing ships on the planets while they land or park. And oh boy, all of a sudden everything changed. On the first planet landing, we instantly spotted a parked ship close by and made the run for it. But to make my smile even wider, another ship came landing right at the same moment as well. So we turned and ran our lives to catch it before it took off. And well, it did take off pretty soon after. A bummer. But as soon as the turns tabled here, we spotted another park ship right next to us. Hallelujah! But weird about this ship was it was unguarded, had a locked door, and we could just break in and take it. What? I didn't think it could be this easy. Turns out this was a Kfir ship, a small vessel that can be purchased pretty much everywhere and is a pretty decent small fighter ship that is worth around 90,000 credits. Of course, the price will be much lower once we actually sell it. It cost 10,900 credits to register it. Happy days. Then not so happy again once we realized that the other ship over there was inaccessible. It probably belonged to these friendly settlers here. I really couldn't have cared less about taking it from them, but the game didn't let me. Only a couple minutes later, we found yet another ship landing close by. I flushed down some EMPs and raced to the ship as fast as I could. The ship was a Spacer Raccoon. We could exit without even alerting the boys having a chat outside and just needed to take out the pilot and crew. But then the one thing happened I was most afraid of. STARFIELD told us we cannot have more than 10 ships in our fleet. What the F, Bethesda? We literally could not take the ship because we already have 10 ships registered. But just as this challenge has gone from shits to golds to shits to gold the entire time, we got lucky again. A quick travel to Neon City to sell the Kfir, the Crimson Fleet Phantom, and also 2 other ships from a previous day gave us some much needed space. I didn't realize entering the last ship started a side mission and kept a ping on the ship's location. This meant we could just simply travel back fast and call this little ugly yellow knob our own. Hell yeah, get another one. Now, since this planet has done me so well, I decided to travel to another spot here and hope to find another, and boy did the planet deliver again. Immediately after we got a new spot, 2 different ships landed close to us. 2 ships! There's another one landing? We ran towards the first one and it turned out to be a catch of the day, maybe even the entire month. The ship we found was Varun Revelation. A pretty large ship that on top of it just looked right up on my alley. The black finish could have been my own choosing and it had a decent setup. Also, it was worth around 270,000 credits when purchased from a vendor. Now, I won't go much into detail about all the other upcoming ships, but the next one was an interesting case. While traveling to another planet, I got caught in a Crimson versus UC battle. These battles are great because you will always win and the UC will pay you over 3,000 credits for your help afterwards. But since the goal was to steal, I tried attempting docking a Crimson Fleet Horn 2 mid-fight. Now I thought this is probably impossible since the U ships won't stop firing, so either the dock will be aborted or I get killed while doing it. But here is how it turned out. Oh, they stopped firing. They stopped shooting at us. Yes! Oh my god, it can actually work. The UC ship instantly called us and I thought we were done for it. But all they did was thank us and pay us to take down the pirates. How the hell they knew we are not the actual pirates, I do not know, but I was super relieved this actually worked. Now after that, I ran into a bunch more Varun ships, but never was able to take out their engines before the whole ship blew up. We found a deserted Wendigo ship on a random landing site, tried to take a UC ship after stabbing the captain with a sword in the back. Sorry about that. Yep, it did not allow us to take the ship. Then we completely stranded in space since the last ship we still had such a small fuel tank we couldn't grav jump anywhere. Seriously, not to a single other star system. Midway through I ran into a 3-star carry-all ship, so I had the genius idea to shoot at it so they would put a bounty on us and take us in. So we could swap our ship at their port after they take us into the prison. But seconds later I realized that the ship had no good weapons at all and was actually a pretty easy target for us, even for our little tuna can of a ship. So this ended being our ship number 7 to steal. Noise. And with the last 20 seconds on the clock, we managed to enter another gold mine of a ship, an Ecliptic Claymore. Yup, same ship we already have stolen before, and it's my all-time favorite ship so far. Also, it sells for good money, and this one had turrets inside? Never seen that before. So in the end, we made it back to the spaceport to inspect and sell some of the ships to check out our profit. But what was this? This ship had, of course, contraband on it. I had tons of stolen goods in my cargo and I didn't want to risk it, so I quickly turned around and searched the ship. And as this game never fails to surprise you, I couldn't find the contraband after searching the ship for over 30 minutes. And when I got back to the UC's scanner space, just admitting defeat, it appeared we actually never had any contraband in the first place. It was just a bug. Oh boy. Anyways, to wrap it up, within the 3 hours we managed to steal 8 ships. If we subtract the register fees from the sales credits, we made a total of 120,000 credits profit. Looking at our experience, we made 7,800 XP points, but we have to subtract 2,500 XP from the legendary ship fight in the beginning, which leaves us with 5,000 XP. These are both not great numbers at all. However, we did struggle a lot in the stream, and a more efficient challenge would give us triple the number of ships, credits and XP. After all, I think this challenge was really frustrating and really fun, so I'm actually dying to do a second run. I know we can get over 20 ships if we stick mainly to on-planet search, manage our ship count better and avoid raiding certain ships. If you want to join me on the live stream, make sure to subscribe and stay on the lookout for the stream announcements. I'm super looking forward to this one. What is your favorite way to steal a ship in Starfield? Let everyone know in the comments section down below. I'm already looking forward to you slaughtering my foolish techniques used here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why not watch this video about my personal favorite way to farm 13,000 XP per hour? I hope it might help you out. Have a great day out there, stay safe and keep gaming.